Hello. So we're gonna make black bean burgers. It's something I've made for years, but I never actually wrote down the recipe. So what happens here is we have a binder, which is brown rice. That's 2.5 cups of cooked brown rice. We have also basically our black beans. There's 1.5 cups of black beans that are cooked. You can buy the canned ones, but the black beans have to be well drained. I mean well drained and dry. I can't stress that enough. So you can use also a 5.5 ounce can of beans. Any beans will work besides black beans, but you have to drain it really well. Okay, it's got to be drained and no liquid in there. Okay, we also have some cumin, a teaspoon. We have a tablespoon of chili powder. I have a teaspoon of salt, and I have some cayenne pepper. So what's going to happen is all these lovely spices are going to go in with our black beans. That is our cumin. Also, our chili powder goes in there. Also, our about 2 pinches of cayenne pepper. Pinch and pinch. There's our cayenne pepper, right? For some heat. And then our salt. That goes in there too. There you go. The next thing you're going to need either is a masher, like a potato masher, or a food processor. So we're going to use a food processor instead. But you can mash this, all the beans and rice, with a potato mash. It's going to take longer. It's easier with a food processor. So we're going to get that started. Alright, so we have our food processor ready to go. We'll make sure it's all plugged in. There we go. So there's our food processor. You're going to put in half your rice first. See how that goes. It might not all fit in your food processor. Then you're going to put in your black beans. You're going to need a rubber spatula for this too as well. First, we're going to start to put that into our food processor and start to pulse it. Yeah, just like that. Up and down, 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 up and down. Pulse, okay? All right, let me turn that off for a minute, and I'm going to scrape it around, okay? All right, so we took that out of the processor. We are going all around to make sure it's not sticking, and then we're going to pulse it again. We're trying to make like a pulp that's going to bind together. So just put that back on there now. We're going to pulse it again. And again. See how it's starting to come together? So now it's going to start to come together like a binding mixture. It's a little dry, but that's what you have to do. If it's too much, then put it again. There we go. Take it out. And so what we're getting is a nice mixture that's like this, okay? That's what you want. You want like a binding mixture that's like a paste to cut together, because that's going to bind to make your patty. Okay, so if it's too much in the processor, you can take some out. I have a little too much in here, and what I'm going to do is, don't add water, okay? I'm going to put it back in here. I'm going to mash it around a little bit more. Let's go again. So once I get that, I still have a little more rice to go. I'm going to take half this out. I'm going to put it into a bowl, take out my blade, and I'm going to do another round with my rice, just like that. So I have a little more in here, and I'm going to add rice to a little more of the mixture. Depends on what kind of processor you have, right? Put a little more in there. Then I'm going to add rice into here, and I'm going to start to pulse it again. You do this all until you get it all mixed up and ready to go. And there we go again. Takes a little patience, but it's worth it. And pulse again, okay? So that's what we're going to do. All right, my clicker, I'm going to pulse it again. Open it up. Move it all around. It's almost time for us to put all this into one bowl and pack it all together. Make it one more time. There you go. This is our last batch. We did it like in 3 batches. Get it all ground up. There you go. So So I just tasted my mixture. I'm gonna put a little bit more cayenne in there because I like a little heat. And so now I have all of my mixture here together. See how it's all binded together? That's what you want. It wants to be able to hold together nice and solid, so then we can cook it. All right, it's got to be pretty dry, but it also has to bind. You're going to have some whole rice grains in there, but the beans are all pretty much ground up. There we go. So, using my hands, you can also use gloves. Give it one last mix by hand. Always helps to get one last mix by hand to get it all incorporated. There you go, like that. Then you're going to form your patties. So you can weigh them out, or you can just do it by hand and get your patties. I usually go about 4 inches wide. Depends on the size of the bun that you're going to be using to make your patties. Everybody's made hamburger patties before. So it's the same basic thing. And you get the size that you want according to what kind of bun you're going to have. Some of you don't even want a bun. You just want to have a nice patty. So we'll shape those all out and get those set up and do as well as you can to get them formed. Like I said, about 3 to 4 inches in width and probably about a half an inch thick. You don't want to go too thick on them, so about a half an inch thick this way, and then 3 to 4 inches that way. All right, there you go. So I actually got what I got from here. I actually got about 6 nice size patties, and those are like 4 inches wide by about a little less than a half of an inch high. And so I'm getting ready to cook them. I'm gonna get a large skillet. You can cook them all at once. We're gonna get some vegetable oil going. That way they're done, and you can have them, reheat them for later for more than one meal. All right, we're putting our pan on high heat, and we're gonna put in 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Any kind of vegetable oil will do, or light olive oil. Gonna get that nice and hot. And make sure you circulate all the oil all around the bottom of the pan. You can do a couple at a time here, and you're going to need a spatula too. So this is a key issue. You want to make sure your pan is really hot. If your oil is not hot enough, then your patties are going to stick. So you'll make sure there is some sizzling. That's what you want to hear. If you don't have any sizzling, then take them out and wait till the oil is hot enough. Got to be hot, otherwise they're going to stick, and that's not a fun thing. And you're going to let these cook for like at least 6 minutes on each side on high heat. Also, if it seems like it's a little too dry, like your pan's a little too dry, you can always add a little bit more oil to it. But you don't want, we're not pan frying. We are kind of searing them, and want to hear that sizzle going. All right, we're going to start to flip them. There we go. That's what you want. Nice searing action. We got some color on one side and then the next, just like that. If it sticks a little bit, just shovel a little bit as best you can to get them flipped over. There you go. Smell good. All right, I did at least 6 minutes on each side, nice and firm. I'm going to turn that off and they're done. So you can reheat these as you wish. Leave them in the fridge, or when it's time to eat, right on the bun, ready to go, whatever your condiments you want to use. So you're all set. But they last about like 4 to 5 days in the fridge. If you don't use them right away, you can also freeze them.